say that you're some kind of designer or freelancer or working creative, regardless of your niche or specific field. Right? You are human, so you want to continue to level up your career, get better clients, have cooler opportunities, be able to raise your rate, get a higher salary, all of that jazz. Sometimes that prospect can feel a little daunting. You are where you are, and it can be hard to know what to focus on. You know you want to get better or work on something so that you can justify increasing your rates, or how is it that some people seem to get these cool opportunities just sent to them and it feels like you're fighting for space, right? This is totally relatable, and something I struggled with for a long time in the 15 years that I've been a freelancer. But over time, I realized that all creative growth kind of falls into 5 pillars. And so if you're feeling stuck, all you need to do is take stock of where you are in each of those 5 kind of tracks. Pick one you want to focus on and work on leveling up your skill set in that thing, and you will improve. So today I'm here in my studio, I got my coffee, and I thought we could have a little chat about the 5 ways that you can grow wherever you are every time. If we're just meeting, I'm Janelle. I've been a freelance graphic designer for 15 years, and I have made every possible mistake on my road to becoming a creative professional, and I really just want to help people get there a little bit faster and with a little bit less heartburn. So if that sounds like your bag, hit the subscribe button because I'd love to hang out again. Okay, so the first pillar is presence. Can someone get a feel for who you are and what work you do before they even talk to you? Can they feel confident that if they bought your thing or hired your service, that they would like it without even interacting with you? That's good presence. This can be where you exist in digital space, your website, portfolio examples, your social media accounts, all of that stuff. Any space where someone can find you, interact with you, and get a sense of who you are and what you uniquely offer can make working with you feel less risky. This is not just digital. This is anywhere that you interact as a human. One of my favorite illustrators, Andy J. Pizza, says that if meeting you doesn't feel like looking at your portfolio, something is missing. And I think that's really the point. Whether that's digitally, or when you're at a networking event, or you meet someone at a cocktail party, or whatever. Anything that builds that know, like, and trust factor so that people see who you are and want to connect with you. Now, it's okay to not have all of these things built up right from the get-go. I neglected social media for over a decade, but it's been okay because I've had other pillars that I've been able to balance it out with. But you do have to work at it if you don't have this presence pillar built up. The second pillar is proof, and this kind of breaks down 4 different ways. The first is visual proof. Lots of good, relevant examples of the kind of work that you do or want to do so that someone knows that if they hire you, you have the skills to execute it. Work begets work. If you want to do a certain kind of work, then you need to have a lot of examples of very similar things so that someone can have a sense when they see it of, oh, I love that, I want that done for me. Even if you don't have a lot of past work in the bag, this is why we make passion projects, so that you can show visual proof of the kind of work that you want to be known for. The second obvious kind of proof is social proof. These are your reviews and your testimonials, big name clients that you can show that you've worked with in the past, high social media following numbers. These are all the kinds of things that say if you've gotten this kind of attention or recognition, or you've worked with these people in the past, that they're probably going to have a good experience too. You don't get this in a day, and that's fine. But these are the things that traditionally people think of as the proof that you need to show that you are a competent professional. The third kind of proof is institutional trust. This is honestly one of the main values of doing the traditional school route. You can absolutely build up the proof pillar as a self-taught designer, but you're going to have to be a lot more intentional about it. Being able to say that you've gone through this program, or you have this training or certification or degree, or that you've worked under this person or interned at this place are all forms of proof. Someone can trust that you have at least a baseline knowledge of a skill set because you've gone through this program or spent this much time learning this thing. And honestly, that can go a long way. It's not the only way, but it is a way. The fourth kind of proof is something I don't feel like enough people value, and that is transferred trust. If someone was referred to you by someone that they already trust and respect, they are going to need a lot less convincing that working with you is a good investment. If they see work that you did for someone that they like and were sent by that person, they're already halfway in. A big reason I was able to not be on social media for so long is because most of my projects came from word of mouth, or by partnering with other creators. That meant that it was okay that I didn't have a huge amount of presence in this column, because people were already halfway on board from the get-go. Now that said, it was hugely important that once someone came into my orbit, everything that they saw or experienced from that point on showcased my skill, my competence, my professionalism, and what they were going to receive. In the same way that having a connection at a company can get you the interview but not the job, having a word-of-mouth referral is a warm lead, but you still have to do the work to actually execute the thing. Okay, the third pillar is presentation. And this is one of the best pillars to focus on early on because it is completely within your control. You can craft your presentation to look professional and polished and clear even before you have a lot of the other pillars to lean on. Having a clear sales page or downloadable document or pitch of some kind so that someone can interact with it and get all the info that they need, address their concerns without even having a live conversation with you. This could be a well-crafted sales funnel that focuses on their pain points or a downloadable PDF info package with all of your rates and the steps of working with you. It could mean putting together a personalized plan that addresses their specific needs so that it doesn't feel like a generic offering, but that you're actually talking to them. This includes how you handle presentations, the questions that you ask on a discovery call, all of the things that lead someone through the process that help them trust you before they get started. Whatever it is, you're working hard to assure them that they're in good hands and that working with you is a good decision. When someone can quickly understand what you're offering and get all the information in a clear and beautiful way, the more you're establishing that you're a professional with a process that you're taking them through and that they're in good hands. People are more willing to put themselves in your hands when they feel like there's a process that you're walking them through. And that level of professionalism can make up for a lot of other pillars not being quite so developed. In a similar vein, the fourth pillar is process. This is all of the stuff that you can develop to make the process of working with you as clear, streamlined, and professional as possible. And you can put real work into that pillar, even if you can't manufacture social proof. People will pay more for a clear package and system that they're being walked through with tangible benefits and things that they're being given. If you can put together a suite of deliverables that you're offering, you can raise your rates to justify those. Having some sort of a portal or access so that it feels like they're going through the system and not just exchanging a bunch of emails with you helps add to this level of solidity of this thing that you're offering. What can you give someone that they can take away with them? Sometimes when we're offering digital services, things can feel really vague and floaty. What can you give them that they can take away with them? Articles, resource lists, tutorial videos, templates, cheat sheets, graphic assets, scripts that they can use. Any sort of things that you can make once and then offer to all of your clients helps to really up the value of what you're offering. An established set of documents and deliverables that they know that they are accessing as part of your process. This is worth paying for. Anything that you can do to help a business owner address their pain points, help reduce friction, have less stressors, anything that helps them in the future is real value. The other kind of process that you can work on is having a clearly defined set of commitments and instructions and contracts and collection vehicles in place so that the process is clear and well defined on both ends and both you and the client know exactly what you're agreeing to, what they're all getting, and that you're legally protected. The more work that you can do in this whole camp to create your process is a real pillar that you can lean on. A client will relax and trust your process more, there will be less backseat driving, and people are more willing to pay for a professional process even if you don't have a lot of the other pillars. The final pillar is product, and this can kind of be three different things. The first is, can you offer good free things to people? A newsletter that gives good free resources, a workbook or a checklist that they can download that actually addresses a need that they have, a series of blog posts that address the FAQs in your industry, or YouTube videos that address a lot of the concerns that they have in their business. What knowledge can you give away that establishes you as an expert in your field, develops that know, like, and trust thing, and actually helps someone with the pain that they genuinely have? The more that you can create free ways of engaging with you that are genuinely useful, the more people will come to trust you and want to work with you, even if you don't have the other kinds of social proof. This is kind of a version of that. The second kind of product are offering ways for people to kind of dip their toe into working with you. This means offering some kind of low-cost thing, like a webinar or an explainer PDF or a business audit, some way for someone to start a relationship with you without a huge sense of commitment or investment. If someone does one thing, they're more likely to come back, and the more that you can build that sense of trust and connection and collaboration with someone, the more you can lead them into a process that might end up being a bigger relationship in the future. Can you offer something that is genuinely useful, but is less risky for someone to engage with instead of like a big high-ticket offer? Anything you can develop like that is worth your time because it continues to build this sense of validity in your business. The last type of product is the biggest one, and that is just genuinely offering really excellent work. It's pretty obvious that the better that you are at a thing, the more you have clients wanting to work with you, and you get interesting offers, and you can raise your rates. So any kind of work that you can do to develop your own skill set and knowledge level at the thing you want to work on is really valuable time. Especially once we start working in a field, it can be hard to justify improvement, taking a Skillshare class or a certification or working on learning a new skill set, because it feels like, well, now I'm this professional and I just need to be good at the thing. But that's kind of the exact opposite. It's one of the best things you can do to continue to improve your own skill set. This is always going to develop over time, and as it does, you can charge more for it. Some of any creative profession really does come down to how much time you've put in. This is why schooling is often used as a marker for quality, because you can assume that someone has gone through this amount of time dedicated to learning this craft, so they're probably at this level of skill. You can absolutely charge good money in any creative field without having gone to school, but you need to focus on building up this product pillar and really elevating your skill set. And you might need to lean on some of the other pillars to kind of validate that as you're building that up. So this is my advice to anyone wanting to grow as a creative in any field. Take an honest audit of where you fit in each of these 5 pillars. Which of them could you improve on? What do you want to focus on next? What are tangible things that you can do, even if you have a couple of hours, that might really boost up that pillar and set you apart a little bit or help push you forward? Once you break it down, it starts feeling a lot less vague and actually gives you a pretty clear growth plan. Ways that you can tangibly develop your business so that you can see real growth. I promise you, if you lean into that question, you will see progress. But I want to know, where do you see yourself? Is there an area that you're like, ooh, I really need to work on that? I would love to hear. Like I said, I am not immune to this. 2025 for me is going to be my year of working on social proof, because this is something I've really neglected. So I'd love to hear what you're working on, and maybe we can be a little accountable to each other. Let's have a chat about it in the comments, and I'll talk to you soon.